Hello my wonderful viewers. So today I'm going to be making some delicious Ekpang Nkukwo. So here are the ingredients I'm going to be using for my Ekpang Nkukwo. I'm not going to make much of it, just to show you how to make it. If you're in diaspora, you may not be able to find some ingredients, but you can always improvise. So here is my Titus fish. We call it mackerel here. I have some spinach there. I have some seasoning cubes. I have some pepper. I have some palm oil. I have some periwinkle. Normally in Ekpang State we put the one with the shell, but since we don't have it here in Houston, I had to improvise and use the one that does not have shells. And then this is my crayfish, and this is actually the Nkukwo. It's already wrapped. Normally we go through the long process of grating the water yam mixed with cocoyam, and then we use the leaves. You can use spinach leaves, you can use cocoyam leaves, you can use green, whatever leaf, even pumpkin leaf to wrap it. But this is already wrapped because they're processed and packaged and everything. And I'm very glad that we have this in Houston. So it just makes the process a lot quicker and easier to cook. Now this is my scent leaf. Normally we do have the fresh scent leaf in Houston, but I couldn't find it, so I decided to also improvise and get the frozen scent leaf. And scent leaf is also called ndong in Ekpang State. So let's get our cooking started. Okay, so first I'm going to be cooking my fish. So prior to doing that, I'm cutting it up and I'm going to clean it. Ekpang Nkukwo is something that you can cook with smoked fish, any type of smoked fish, and then you can also cook it obviously with, I personally would not recommend catfish, but it's very perfect with this Titus fish, which we call mackerel. So as you can see, I'm washing my fish, putting it into the pot, and this is the same pot I'm going to be using to cook the Ekpang Nkukwo. So you want to always clean up, make sure that everything in your kitchen is clean as you cook. So first thing first, I'm going to go ahead and put my pepper. I'm going to also go ahead and put my salt to taste. Okay, you want to be careful with the salt, put enough as you need. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put my seasoning cubes. Okay.
Let's make a feast. In Meliki's kitchen, joy never ceased. In the kitchen where flavors blend, chopping veggies, the fun won't end. Spices dancing, the aroma calls. In Meliki's kitchen, everybody thralls. Sizzle and stir, we're setting the pace. Taste the joy, let's embrace the grace.
Okay, you want to go ahead and stir it. Make sure you can just put just a little bit of water. As you can see, I added just a little bit just to steam the fish. Notice that I did not put onions. Traditional food like Ekpang Nkukwo, I don't think onions is necessary. So I'm now cutting my spinach since I don't have pumpkin leaves. Here I am blending my crayfish that I'm going to be using for my Ekpang Nkukwo. Okay, so after blending my crayfish, I checked on my fish, which I had already cooked or put on the stove. I'm stirring it, making sure that everything distributes evenly. Okay, I did add it a little more water just to keep it cooked until it's done. Okay, I'm adding my periwinkle. Like I said, I couldn't find, in fact I've never been able to find the real periwinkle with shells. So anytime I'm making Ekpang Nkukwo, I'm putting this one as an alternative. So stirring it and then covering it and allowing it to cook. Then I later on had to remove the fish. The reason I removed it is because I did not want it to be crushed inside of the pot. So I have added the Ekpang Nkukwo. It already started defrosting a little bit, but part of it is still frozen. Since I did not have the time to allow it to defrost completely, I just put it in the pot, allow it to steam. Okay, and now I'm checking back to make sure. You always want to check back to make sure it's not burnt. If it was in a Akwa Ibom state, we would have put the nfi underneath before putting the ekpang on top of it to allow it cook and not stick to the pot. So this water that I put here, I completely boiled it in the microwave, so it's a very, very hot. You don't want to put cold water because you don't want to scatter the whole ekpang. So the hot water holds it together. So here I am trying to separate it. It seems it's still kind of frozen, some parts of it. So here I am adding the crayfish. Okay, so I'm adding the blended crayfish. If you notice, my crayfish is kind of wet. Anything that is shipped to America, I always wash it because I really don't trust their process and packaging and all that. Not that there is anything wrong with it, just to keep sand out of it, keep dirt out of it. I don't want to eat things that are unclean, so I always wash my crayfish, only because they're shipped to America. So now I put my pepper, my blended dry pepper. I don't like using fresh pepper in ekpang because anything that is going to take that traditional aroma of the ekpang away, I do not usually put it. So the next thing I'm going to be putting is salt. Remember, I had already added salt to the fish, so since I have added the ekpang and the quantity of what I'm cooking has increased, then it makes sense to just add enough salt to taste. I'm adding 2 more seasoning cubes. I had already added 1 to the fish, so I'm adding 2 more, okay, at this point. So I'll go ahead and crush it in. Notice that I have not stirred. I'm not stirring it because I believe it's still not fully done, especially that frozen part. So even though I'm putting all these things, I'm still allowing it to boil. Okay, so notice also that I have dropped the spoon and I've decided to use what we call a fa. Okay, you see in the middle, I can tell that the ekpang is not fully cooked. So what I'm doing, instead of like stirring it, I'm just using the epa to lift it and make sure it doesn't stick under and it doesn't burn while it continues to cook. Okay, notice how I'm doing it. It's not a full stir. Okay, I'm just going to cover it one more time and allow it to continue to cook. The whole goal is to make sure that the ekpang is fully cooked before you can actually stir it. Okay, I keep checking on it to make sure. And then I decided to add my fish. I tried to debone it as much as I could, but I'm pouring in my fish at this point. I am still using my wooden spoon to continue to lift it to make sure that the Ekpang Nkukwo does not burn or stick to the bottom of the pot. You can even choose to reduce the stove, or reduce the fire if you're using the gas. Put it on low heat or something and continue to cover it until the ekpang is fully cooked.
make a feast in Meliki's kitchen.
All right, so I'm checking on it one more time, but this time around I'm adding my scent leaf. This is the scent leaf. I had washed it. It was frozen, but I had to wash it again, make sure it's cleaned, and then cut it. All right, so I'm stirring it. It appears to be thick, and I don't usually like my ekpang to be thick. Okay, I still notice that it still needs to be cooked some more because it's, in the middle, it's still not fully done. So in order for me to make sure that this Ekpang Nkukwo is fully done, I had to boil water in a cup, but I boiled it using my microwave and I poured it into the pot. You want to stay away from using cold water in your ekpang because it's just going to scatter the whole thing, and it's not gonna come out looking right. So after cooking it, you can check as many times as you want to, but you have to continue to do this and follow this process until you ensure that your ekpang is fully cooked and evenly cooked. Okay?
So grab a spoon, let's make a feast. In Meliki's kitchen, joy never ceased.
I felt the need to cook it one more time before adding my oil to it. So here I am checking it, okay, one last time, and at this point in time my ekpang is done technically, so I have to now add my palm oil to it. So some people, if you have like the real nfi, the way to cook it, if you have like and by that I mean the periwinkle with the shell, we normally put it in the bottom of the pot before putting the ekpang on top. So in that case, before you do that, you would use the palm oil and rub around the pot, to prevent the ekpang from sticking. Then you put the periwinkle first, and then you decide to place the ekpang on top of the periwinkle. But since I don't have the periwinkle, and obviously I'm in America, so I skip all that process, and this is the method I'm using. I'm adding the palm oil as the second to the last ingredient. So at this point, since the ekpang is done, notice I'm able to stir the whole thing. Okay, so I have decided to add, this is the very last ingredient that I'm adding, is my spinach. I don't want to put too much of it, so I had to remain some. As you can see, I am stirring it, making sure that the spinach is evenly distributed in the pot. Okay, I feel like the ekpang is still too thick, so at any point in the process you can add more water if you need. Also, you always want to taste your food, make sure that you adjust any ingredient of your choice. So I'm adding more water now because the ekpang is already done. It doesn't matter if you add cold water or hot water at this point. I just added a little bit to loosen it up some more. And here is the ekpang. This is actually the finished product. I did not want to overcook the spinach. Spinach is naturally very soft, so once you put the spinach, then your food is done. And here is the delicious world-class ekpang. Guys, I'm just being funny, but seriously, this ekpang is completely out of this world. Like, it tasted so good. Imagine like using the spoon and eating ekpang, and then the sociology, the periwinkle is all over, you understand, plus the Titus. I mean, the taste of this food is priceless, I have to tell you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be posting more cooking tutorials, so in order for you to receive notifications Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with your loved ones. I know some of you guys in diaspora, especially our men, are married to foreigners who may be interested in pleasing your husband with our Akwa Ibom or Akwa Cross dishes. This is the right channel for you to subscribe to so you can learn how to cook for your husband. Thank you so much once again for watching. Follow, like, comment. Until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.
That's the key. Join the magic, it's where you want to be. Simmering pots, colors alive. Gathering friends, see how they thrive. Stirring the love with every bite. In Calibur's heart, cooking feels so right. From my kitchen to yours, let's share the cheer. Every recipe brings us together here. Meleki's Calibur, come take a seat. Flavor so rich, make your life sweet. Cooking with love, that's the key. Join the magic, it's where you want to be. So grab a spoon, let's make a feast. In Meleki's kitchen, joy never ceased. So grab a spoon, let's make a feast. In Meleki's kitchen, joy never ceased. Grab a spoon, let's make a feast. In Meleki's kitchen, joy never ceased.